Good morning, everyone. Good to see you. We're scattered all over the place. We have a 2-for-1 special going today. Because of Mitzi's research into the field of pickleball, we have a bonus family member with us today. So we have our dear Mitzi McDonald and her wonderful daughter Holly Laws. So let's please welcome them both back.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yep, it's true. It did happen, but that's okay. Hey, sometimes you have to know it's not what happens to you, but how you respond to it. So, choosing joy. Okay. You've got to get up every morning, the smile on your face, and show the world all the love in your heart. People gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful as you feel. Waiting at the station with a workday window blowing, I've got nothing to do but watch the passers-by. Mirrored in their faces I see frustration growing, and they don't see it showing. Why do I? You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. Then people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful as you feel. I have often asked myself the reason for the sadness in a world where tears are just a lullaby. If there's any answer, maybe love can end this madness, maybe not, but we can only try. You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. Then people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful as you feel. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Mitzi McDonald and Holly Laws, accompanied by Steve Schenkel. Thank you so much. We always love your inspiring music, and we'll hear more of it throughout the service today. Good morning, everyone. I'm licensed Unity teacher Hope Dodson. It feels so good to say that, finally. I'm filling in for Jan today. She's taking her well-deserved day off. She'll be back next week. And if everyone would join me in a warm welcome to Reverend Lee Remington. It's right over here. She's our guest speaker today. Also, special welcome to any first-time visitors that we have, or guests. Looks like our regular crowd today. But anyway, or if you're online, any first-time streamers or guests, just know that we are an unapologetically inclusive community, and you are welcome here. For those in-house, you'll find a yellow guest information card in the back of the pew in front of you. If you'd like to fill that out, we promise not to pester you. And if you look on the back, you can check the box that will provide you a year's subscription for free to our Daily Word magazine, which you'll hear from later. And if you're online, we offer the same offer to you. Just go to our website, unitystl.org, and hit the Contact Us link. for prayer. I gotta find my place. I get ahead of myself. Also, if you're online and you need prayer help, you can go scroll down on the front page and hit Need Prayer. For those of you in-house today, we have a wonderfully well-trained prayer chaplain, Lynn Mark, who will be here for you after service for any prayers you may have. And we'll also come up and do the daily word in just a minute. So before we go to upcoming events, I wanted to thank everyone who participated in our Super Sunday celebration last week. It was a big success. We had so many people bringing different soups, and we all enjoyed that. So we thank Linda Haar, Hospitality Ministry Chair, who's right there, as well as everyone who helped set up, clean up, or brought soup. So would all of you stand who participated last week? So come on, you know who you are. Thank you all. And it was a wonderful success. We also, because our price of admission was to bring a can or two of soup or canned good for Feed My People. We have a nice full grocery basket out there for Feed My People. Now for our upcoming events, which are also available on our website and our Facebook page. Today at noon, Jane Relic and Mary Tumanello are hosting their welcoming ministry training in the adult classroom. So we're so excited that so many of you are returning, and also a bunch of new people who are going to join us, which is great. Such an important ministry. The coat and winter wear drive, sponsored by our youth ed group for St. Patrick's Center, will be extended 1 week. So next week, next Sunday, will be the final date for collecting winter coats and mittens and scarves and such. So I don't know if you've seen it in the hallway, that box and is just overflowing with coats and mittens and things. It's wonderful to see. So 1 more week on that. Next Saturday, February 1st, 10 a.m., in the community room, which is downstairs, Valerie Harris is offering a body combat, a mixed martial arts, no contact, class set to music. The format will be 40 minutes, 40 minutes long, modified to be low impact. And if you need to sit in a chair during the whole thing, you can do that too, which I think is great for those of us who have a little trouble doing all that, standing up. The class is offered on a love offering basis with all donations coming to the church. It's so gracious. And there's a sign-up sheet in the lobby, so make sure to check that out. The grief group supported, the grief support group led by Lisa Wagner Dagling will resume on February 19th from 1 to 3. The group is for loved one. There we go. The group is for those who've lost a loved one. Also, there's a new save the date for our next Route 66 Jazz Orchestra concert has been changed. The current plan is February 23rd, which is a Sunday, I believe. 7:30 p.m., $15 at the door. Is it when is it, Jeremiah?
It's a Wednesday. It is February. Oh wait, no, yeah, 20. That date is not correct.
Not correct. We will get back to you with the correct date. We'll keep it posted. All right. Before we continue today's service, ministry chair, it's the hospitality ministry chair, Linda Haar, will come up and highlight the hospitality ministry. So, Linda.
Thank you, Hope. I just wanted to thank everybody for that came, especially last week with the soup. That was a very successful event, well attended, and that's just some of the things that we do in hospitality. One of the things I like about co-leading that hospitality group. we do things with the church that are for fun, and we do things that are for fundraising. So what she said about the body combat, that was just something that Val came up with, and that's things that you can do. I mean, if there's things that you think that would be fun for the church or a fundraiser for the church, please don't feel like, if you don't want to do something all year with us, and if you just like, oh, I think this will be something that would be fun, that I think I could contribute, or even if you just want to come to an event and help us set up for that event or help us clean up for that event, those are all ways that you can contribute that really make a difference. We have some people that okay, we're going. You want to go pick up sandwiches to help contribute for the lunch. We have people that will do that for us. Everything makes a difference because we do a lot of the social events. Last year, for instance, we did a spring brunch. We do the Easter and Christmas bake sales. We had that Voices of St. Alphonsus concert last April. The annual meeting, we do the lunch after the annual meeting. Last year we had a Purina Farms outing, the 100th anniversary lunch. We put that on. We did an autumn luncheon. So a lot of our things do tend to revolve around food, it looks like, and they do. So, I mean, there's a lot of social things that do revolve around food, and that's okay. But sometimes it's just setting up the tables, the food, the takedown, and who doesn't like to get together and socialize? I mean, that really does make a big difference. So anyway, I will be out in the lobby afterwards and would love to see you come, spend a couple of minutes and get to know you more and see what your interest would be. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Linda. Yes, I love the hospitality and events ministry. So now, if you are willing and able to stand for our first community song, The Face of God, led by Chuck Seeger and Steve Schenkel.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of love. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
God has a lot of faces here today. Welcome to everybody. My name is Lynn. I'm your prayer chaplain. That's my honor today, and I will be after service. Oh, you're welcome. After service, I'll be over in the corner for anyone who has any prayer needs, be they worries, be they joy, be they gratitude, whatever. In our corner. And we let things go straight to God, which is where they belong. Okay, today's word, daily word, is not gratitude as I thought it was. It is another G word. It is generous. And the affirmation is, I give with an open heart. I am generous. Would you say that with me, please? I give with an open heart. I am generous. Keeping my heart open elevates my experience of generosity. If I give begrudgingly, fearful of not having enough for myself, I am not being truly generous. There's a joy and a trust in being generous. There's a joy in knowing that there is no lack at the level of spirit, and my generous impulses are my way of demonstrating my faith in this truth. I place my trust in the spiritual truths that as I give, I also receive. Generosity is a spiritual practice, a commitment to fully participating in the flow of life. As I give generously, I receive the richness of grace, love, and peace. I relax into the flow of synchronicity and receive unexpected blessings. Generosity is the gift that I give myself. And from 2 Corinthians 9:6, the point is this: the one who sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and the one who sows bountifully will also reap bountifully. Let's pray. Precious Spirit, help us to remember the gifts that come back to us when we practice being generous. This comes naturally when we consider the abundance that manifests in our lives. When we give of our time and our resources, we are doubly blessed. And so it is. Amen.
All right. Well, this next song that I'm going to sing is one I wrote, and it's all about healing, which is perfect for me. I wrote it for a friend of mine that was going through chemotherapy, and I added on a fourth verse years later. Because I saw a picture of a full rainbow, and I learned that pilots, sometimes if the clouds are out of the way, that they can see the full formation of a rainbow, which I love rainbows, and I had no idea that they went all the way around in any degree. And again, I thought about healing, how we can only see part of the picture, and sometimes the rest of that healing path is hidden from us. But we have to know it's all there. So here you go. Follow the path, it will lead you to what you cannot see. I know you can see it now, but it's there through the trees. And as you turn the bend, you'll see a small twinkling, a waterfall cascading down there through the trees. Follow the path, it will lead you to what you cannot know. There's a world of possibilities for your seeds to sow, and all the good things you've done, and the wonder that you are. Let love come raining down on you, filling up your jar. Follow the path, it will meet you. Do not be afraid. There's a bigger love that binds us, and a heart that knows the way. And the going may get tough, but focus on today. Feel the love that's healing you all the way. Follow the path when a rainbow arches across the sky. We've always heard the pot of gold is waiting there on the other side. But if you had the chance to be high above the clouds, you'd see the rings and the coloring going all the way round. It has no end, like life itself keeps going round and round. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It's warmer outside. Warmer, right? Warmer. Everything's relative. Okay. Okay. Love your enemies and forgive those who persecute you. Hard to do, right? So those were, or are, the teachings of Jesus, and certainly the teachings on which our wonderful unity movement is solidly based about love and forgiveness. Now, to love our enemy does not mean we have to be in agreement with them, right? We can disagree strongly, but what it does mean is that we have to be able to look at that individual, our perceived enemy, and see that there is that divine, that Christ in there. Maybe we think it's really deeply buried, but it's in there. Love our enemies. Forgive. We look out in the world and we have a choice. We can see enemies, or we can see that divinity that lives within each and every one of us, whether we call them friend or not, but as a fellow human being, loving our enemies. Now that comes in many different situations. Perhaps the person that you feel beat you out of the job that was yours. You knew it was yours. You were highly qualified. You had seniority, and yet that person got that job. So perhaps we look at that person as an enemy. In sports, that happens a lot. The team that wins over the team you're rooting for, the enemy. Now, I have to tell you, I have 3 friends, actually, that consider the Rams an enemy. Let me tell you why. For those of you who follow football, wasn't it in 2019 that the Rams decided to leave us and move back to Los Angeles? Oh, I have friends that are still grieving about that. They refuse to watch a football game in which the Rams are playing. They're the enemy. And of course, in politics, we always, if our side doesn't win, have an enemy or a perceived enemy. So why do we want to love our enemies or our perceived enemies? Because if we don't, it overshadows any inner peace or joy that we might have. In 1957, in Montgomery, Alabama, in Dexter Avenue Baptist Church, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, whose birthday we celebrated last week, gave what was to have become one of his most famous sermons. And it was entitled, Loving Your Enemies. So I'm just going to briefly cover that, because, he really gave some long messages, so don't worry. But if you ever get a chance to pull that up on YouTube and listen to it, it's absolutely beautiful. But he starts out with saying that Jesus was not a utopian dreamer, but rather a realist, because he knew that unless we learned, which is what he taught, to love our enemies, that civilization would not persist, that we wouldn't be able to make it together. So to find a way to make that happen. And so he gave some how-tos and some whys. How to look into ourselves first, and then try to find good in others. So look into ourselves first. Look deeply. Spend time in meditation and prayer. What might I have done to plant this seed of what I consider to be a perceived enemy? Have I had any part in this? And often the person that we dislike the most is a mirror to who we are. So to be aware of that. Is that a reflection of something going on in me that I need to heal? And then to find some good in that perceived enemy. Again, sometimes we have to look really deeply and for a long time, but knowing that there is within each and every one of us that divine. There's a wonderful story that has been circulating in Unity for probably 50, 60 years now about Bill Fisher, Reverend Bill Fisher. And I'm sure when I start it, many of you will nod because you probably have heard it sometime over the years. Well, Bill Fisher was in ministerial school in the early 50s. So what is that, 75 years ago? My gosh. He, by the way, made his transition already, so. But he loves to tell the story of finding something good, no matter how long or how deeply we have to look. So at that time, May Rowland was director of Silent Unity. May Rowland, very famous, a wonderful director at the time for many years. And she was teaching a class to the ministerial students, and it was about love, unconditional love. And she said, if there is anyone in your life that you are unable to love, I want you to come to my office and let's talk about it. So Bill Fisher said, well, I had such a person in my life, so I went to her office. And she inquired, what was the situation? Who was the person? He said, well, it's a classmate. And the truth is, I can't stand the guy. She said, okay, I want you for the next week, I'm going to give you some homework. I want you to go out. I want you to think about it. I want you to observe him and find something that you like. Something. So So a week passed. He went back to her office. Can't find a thing. Not a thing that I like about this guy. So she said, take another week, go out, look more deeply, follow him around, do whatever you have to. Well, that week passed. He went back to May Rowland's office. I got nothing. So this went on for several weeks, and finally, she got more stern about it. I want you to do what you have to do to find something good about this person you so dislike. Anything. Could be the smallest thing, just something. Well, he went back a week later. He could hardly contain himself. I found something. I like his tie. Apparently, the guy wore the same tie all the time. So May Rowland said, go right now, leave, find him, and tell him that. So Bill Fisher left her office, went out on the campus, tracked him down, walked up to him and said, I love that tie. Guess what happened? He took the tie off and he gave it to Bill Fisher. And that was the beginning of a lifelong, deep, beautiful friendship. I love that story. And the fact that Bill Fisher told that on himself as a great lesson on looking and looking and looking and looking and finding something that can change that relationship. And then why do we want to love our enemies? Again, doesn't mean we have to agree with them, but that we have to love that divine, that truth in that person. And Dr. King talks about we need to do it because hate perpetuates hate, right? Unforgiveness begets unforgiveness. And it goes on and on and on until there is a stop to it. And the only stop to it is to find a way to love that enemy, that perceived enemy. And then he said, when we hate, it distorts who we are. And that's true, isn't it? Hate distorts the hater. I mean, we all, I'm sure, have been around people who are so full of anger and hatred and bitterness. You can see it in their face. There's like a cold wind when you get near them. It consumes them, overshadows everything good that they could be living. So we do that for self-preservation. And then he said it gives us an opportunity, once we have transformed ourselves and have learned how to indeed love our enemies, that we can be that example, that light for others in our life to show them, perhaps help them make that transformation as well. Again, we can be that beacon of love and forgiveness. And I'd like to share a story that happened many, many decades ago, long before I was in ministry. I worked for a home for juveniles on the East Coast. And our children had been extremely abused in every way. They were full of anger. They were often physically destructive. They had very colorful language. And we had a supervisor that I think if Unity sainted people, she'd be one we'd saint. But I remember one day leaving work, and I had to walk through the lobby And there she was, down on her knees in front of one of our younger students who was cussing and spitting and hitting at her. And she said, we'll call him Joe. I love you, Joe. And he kept on with intensity, hitting her, cursing at her, spitting, biting her. And she'd pull him a little closer. I love you, Joe. This went on, seemed like forever. And I didn't want to leave the lobby because I wanted to see the outcome of this. He kept fighting, cursing, and she every time would hug him a little tighter and speak those words a little louder. I love you, Joe. And then finally, he collapsed in her arms and said, I love you too. So I'm thinking how that could have been different. It would have been pretty normal, I think, for many of us to say, go to the principal's office. You're grounded. How dare you speak to me like that? But she didn't do it. Even though he perceived her as an enemy, she did not reciprocate. She was that beacon of light and love that held him tighter, that spoke the truth louder. I love you, Joe. And I believe, or I hope, I pray, that transformed that young man, that his life is different now because of the lesson that he learned that day, that somehow his life was transformed because the person he perceived as an enemy loved him unconditionally. Don't you think he turned out to be a great guy? I do. I do. So loving our enemies, again, hard to do. But we do it for our self-preservation. We do it for the preservation of our civilization. We do it because it's the right thing to do. Because, of course, one of our other beautiful basic teachings, that we're all one, right? That we're all one. So whatever I do to you in some way, I do to myself, and vice versa. So to know that whatever sports team, whatever job, whatever politician, whatever that we see as an enemy, to see that we are all one in the family of God. And that within each and every one of us, deeply sometimes, there is that divine, that Christ in us. So to be able to look past whatever flaws we may see to the truth of that person. So again, all of us living and moving as one, living and moving in the one in whom we all live and have our being, that one presence and one power. Something that we say every time we get together as unity folks, right? That we affirm that truth. There's one presence and one power, and we know we're all a part of that. So now let us take those words of truth together, affirming them boldly for each and every person in this world. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God the good, omnipotent.
In the silence, there is a sacred place, a secret meeting place. Love is there. In the silence, where every color blends and every rainbow ends, good is there. In the light, now you find that you know peace of mind. In the silence, your path is paved in gold, and all your dreams unfold. Love is there. Peace is there. Truth is there. God is there.
So, in that beautiful silence where everything exists, I invite us now to journey to that beautiful place, to just find a way to relax our body in whatever way works. Just shake off any tension. And just feel the silence, the quietness begin. Let our mind be quiet about all the activity of this morning or what we have planned for this afternoon. Just for these few moments, make our mind a void to be filled in that beautiful silence to where we journey. And so to relax our body even more, aware of our breath, just inhaling calmness. And exhaling any thoughts of chaos, anything negative at all. Just breathing in the love in this room and just letting go of anything we may be holding on to. Anything that we might look at and call an enemy. And so in this calmness, in this silence, we now are in that beautiful, sweet spot that is our inner sanctuary. That church that we carry with us all the time. And so in this silence, in this place of truth and unconditional love, I invite us to take a spiritual fleshlight and look at all those places in our life that don't feel like love. Whether it's a situation or a person, to bring them to mind, to hold them for a moment. And to ask, what can I see in this situation? What can I see in this person to free me from seeing them as an enemy? And so I invite us in these next few moments to again just use that spiritual fleshlight that we have to open our spiritual ears, our heart, our mind, and wait for that void to be filled with truth in this beautiful silence. And so as we prepare to return to this outer church, this outer sanctuary, where we're all breathing and loving together, to do so, bringing whatever we have felt, learned, heard, seen, to be expressing that in our life. And so we do give thanks for this time. We give thanks for the truth that we know that we are one with God and one with each other. And knowing that we do not have to be in agreement with one another to love one another. And we ask for the strength, the courage to be able to look beyond what we dislike or fear to the truth of that human being, that child of God that stands before us. And remembering those beautiful words of the one who said, I am the light of the world, and you are the light of the world. Jesus Christ. And knowing that as we are called to be a light in the world, as we are called as the hands and feet and voice and ears and love and compassion of God in the world, that we cannot be that and we cannot shine that light unless we find a way to love one another. And so we do pray with grateful hearts for this beautiful honor to be an expression of God in the world. And together we do say, so it is, and so it will be. Amen.
John Galloway from Nashville, and well, like I was saying earlier about it's how we respond, how we choose to respond to things, and it's called I Choose Love. I can see laughter or I can see tears. I see a choice of love or fear. What do you choose? I can see peace or I can see war. I can see sunshine or I can see a storm. What do you choose? Oh, I choose to love with freedom fire from my heart where the light keeps shining. I choose to feel the whole world crying for the strength that we can rise above. I choose love. I choose love. I can see sharing or I can see greed. I can see caring or poverty. What do you choose? I can see gardens or I can see flaws. I can see life or death coming on strong. What do you choose? Oh, I choose to love with freedom fire from my heart where the light keeps shining. And I choose to feel the whole world crying for the strength that we can rise above. I choose love. I choose love. I see us healing, darkness dying. I see us dawning as one world united. What do you choose? Love or fear? What do you choose? Oh, I choose to love with freedom fire from my heart where the light keeps shining. And I choose to feel the whole world crying. I choose to feel the one voice rising. And I choose to feel us all united in the strength that we can rise above. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love. Thank you. Thank you, Holly. So nice to have her.
Right. Thank you so much, Mitzi and Holly. That was beautiful, and I hope to have back soon. And we give thanks to Steve Schenkel for his wonderful music director skills, and Chuck and Chuck Seeger for being our song leader for today. I did get clarification from Jeremiah up in the sound booth, who is in this Route 66 Jazz Orchestra, that the February date is the 21st for the next concert. I believe it might be the April date that's changing. We'll keep you posted on that. So now is the time in our service where we just relax and contemplate and give thanks for all of our wonderful blessings. And in that, we share our blessings. And we so appreciate your financial donations, because that's how we keep the lights on and further our message and our outreach. For those of you in-house, there's a box in the back of the church, in the middle pew here, for tithes and offerings. And if you are online, you can go to our website and hit the donate button. Another thing you can do is click the little arrow on the description underneath this video, and there's a link there to our donate button as well on YouTube. We take PayPal, Google Pay and Apple Pay. So in knowing that we are one with divine spirit and with one another, please join me in a prosperity prayer. Together, divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. We are great source, and we are grateful for prosperity in our personal lives and in our spiritual community. Now I invite you to stand if you're willing and able for our prayer for protection. All right, together. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. The presence of God watches over us. The presence indwells us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. All right, so please remain standing. We thank you all for joining our service in person or online today. Together, we are the First Unity Church of St. Louis. We look forward to seeing you again next week. And as a vibrant, inclusive spiritual community, we come together in oneness of spirit to support one another and express godness and goodness in the world. Our final community song today is Love Is My Decision. Afterwards, please come downstairs for coffee and conversation. And of course, all are welcome. And, don't forget to stop by and check out all the things we have to sign up for outside. We've got the class on Saturday, and take a look at Linda's hospitality and events ministry. So thank you very much.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on the bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten the load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. My decision, right here and now.
Yeah, you guys.
I'm desperate for you. I'm desperate for you.